Hey guys, I wanted to talk about change today. It's change is one of those things that at some point we all go through. It can be easy, it can be hard, it can be traumatic, it can be whatever term you want to call it. Bottom line is we go through it and often we don't know how to deal with it. So how do we deal with change? Here I am, a 31-year-old woman living in a foreign country. I came here to undergo fistula treatment. Once here, my life started changing right away. First of all, I knew I was going to be having a surgery and a medical procedure all by myself, right? The surgery, luckily I was blessed. I discovered some friends and I had a woman escort me in to do the surgery. So I wasn't completely alone, but I didn't have anyone in my sphere of influence with me. So here I was doing that. And then a few hours later, I found out about personal life issues, relationship issues, stuff that was going to impact me. And I would have to start making these decisions on how to keep going in my life. And then I started picking up these character defects again. And character defects for me just means very simply these behaviors that I used to do when I was drinking and even before I was drinking that protected myself or that I thought would protect myself, whether it was taking revenge on someone that I felt treated me wrong or being hurtful, retaliating, just being mean, not eating, putting myself down. All these little things that add up to create a person I don't want to be. So I started picking up these behaviors. And then my life started changing even more because now these decisions that I put off while picking up these behaviors were coming back and I still had to give answers. And so I had to come to terms with the fact that my life was changing, and if I kept on with these behaviors, I was going to drink or destroy myself. I was preventing myself from benefiting from the treatment that I'm here to have done. And it derailed it, and it stalled it, and it has meant that I'm here longer because my treatment is ongoing and it's something that I have to heal from fully. And so every indecision led to another form of change, which led to this spiral effect. So here I am, 3 months in India, and I've made decisions. I'm changing. My personal life has changed. My relationships have changed. My marriage has changed. My life will be different. My life is ever changing. And for me personally, that means I have to be okay with that. How do I survive change without destroying myself? Because for me, change is scary. It's uncertain. It's unknown. It's all these you words that I don't like. I don't like being in fear. I don't like not knowing what's going to happen. I don't like not knowing my future. I don't like not knowing my financial status. I don't like not knowing all of these things. But I have two choices. I can accept the fact that I don't know anything, or I can try to control everything. It's actually really simple. I have to accept that I don't know anything. So what? I don't know what my future is going to be. It's a blessing because when we get stuck into the cycle of knowing what's going to come next, knowing that, yes, we're married with 2.5 kids and 2.5 dogs in a 3-bedroom home, life kind of gets stale and it kind of starts getting taken for granted and we forget how to react to big life changes. So when I'm in it and I'm having all these life changes, now I get this opportunity. I get this new opportunity of how to react as a sober woman. I've reacted as a drunk woman many, many times. I've had life happening as a drunk woman. I had my dad pass away when I was drunk and drinking. I had babies. Even though I was sober at the time, I still had that drunk personality because I hadn't changed my mindset. So now as a drunk woman, as a sober woman that's no longer drunk, I get to live my life in a new way. So now I get to make these decisions that I'm going to remember, that I get to weigh the outcomes, that I get to weigh the way that it feels inside, and I get to react to the change sober, healthy, mentally sound, to the best of my ability. And I get to roll with the changes, and I don't have to numb myself out to deal with them, which is a beautiful thing, because when I look back 5 or 10 years from now, I can be like, I survived the change. To make change and to survive change is different. I want to change as a person. Great. I can work on stuff little by little every day. To survive a lifestyle change, I have to have a few tools, and I use these tools every single day. 1, I'm grateful. I have to have gratitude no matter what. It's very easy to get stuck in a spiral of negativity and poor me and what ifs and oh no's and all these negative things. Negativity is like my second name, like so easy to get into it. And so if you meet me in real life, most people notice right away that I try very actively to be very pessimistic, because positive behavior for me means something positive is going to happen, and I don't have to live in that negativity, and I don't want to be a negative person. So what am I grateful for? Grateful to be sober, grateful for my life, grateful for my relationships I have, grateful for being a human, grateful to be able to share what I'm going through with other people, and hopefully they don't have to go through some of the pain that I've went through. And then I have to stay in the moment, because I like to project. I like to think of the future. I love to know what's going to happen next week, next month, next year. And unfortunately, it's not reality. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow for the most part. I don't know what happens next year for sure. So I have to stay in the moment. And sometimes that literally means reminding myself every 5 minutes that, hey, it's not next year yet. You got to stay in the moment so that you can stay in the present and I'm not missing anything that's happening right now. And then I just have to remember to take life as it comes. Change is uncomfortable. It can feel horrible. It can feel impossible. But if I can survive years of drinking and poisoning myself, if I can survive years of alcohol poisoning and years of belittling myself, then surely I can survive for one more day. And with that means I have to keep reminding myself. Self-love, self-care. It's okay to take time when I need time. And I have to lower my expectations of myself, because everybody always says people have expectations of them, and that's very true. But I have higher expectations of myself than anybody else could possibly put on me, because I expect myself to look a certain way, sound a certain way, do a certain thing, be a certain thing, and 9 times out of 10, I fail. So I have to remind myself that I am human. I'm meant to fail. It's from those failures that I can learn to grow and to change. And since for me, it takes me a lot to learn from things, I need a few failures so that I can grow and I can be that beautiful person that I want to be. And that's what changes. I get to become the person that I'm meant to be, want to be, and strive to be. So thanks so much for listening, and take care.